It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to The New Next, a podcast that addresses current events and how they will impact the future.
I don't think it's misfounded hope in Europe over the next couple of years, but it's going to be very painful, I think, to really address a lot of what's happened, especially with the COVID-19 stuff in recent years. Because you trigger, like, certain people, how to trigger them. And in American Indians, for instance, that have had people try to steal stuff from them their entire life, they're probably not necessarily going to be as trusting in certain situations. And it's something that we've dealt with too in our family, is dealing frankly with trust for institutions, or
Right.
at least just because it's something that we've dealt with personally, but then also the University of Washington trying to pull eminent domain on our family business of 100 years and all the ones around us, just because it was easier for their development plan. Having to fight that in court after you gave them a $16 million property 20 years earlier so they could build an oceanography school. That's a true test of your character. And my dad went through it, and I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to, but I don't know, like it was like my first cousin back in the day. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe time for a different time, but we've got a crazy history. So
I think there's, even hearing you talk about this family lineage and stuff, comparatively, my family lineage is trash heap. We don't have anybody that's ever been a player.
How do you know?
Because there's nobody in my family that has that thing unless they married into it.
Oh, you probably haven't gone back far enough.
I've gone back over 100 years.
100 years isn't even that far. So
all the other people that you're talking about, though, even in the past 100 years, it would be one thing if it was considered like, oh, you had a bad life, so you're the disappointment or something. But I'm looking at all four branches of my family. I'm not saying that there weren't exceptional people within that lineage. We're fighting just to be able to be middle class for a good chunk of my family. There's a good chunk that are fighting who have, like my parents' generation, several of them moved into the middle class or the lower upper class and trying to just maintain, let alone move ahead. And I know that's a specific distinction, but when you're talking about lineage, just talking about $16 million given to University of Washington.
As a property.
But it's still, the asset is worth $16 million. I don't know if all of my family currently, like all of my family, all like 500 people or something across the four things, save for my millionaire uncle who blew most of it, would even be worth $16 million together in today's time.
Yeah, I don't really. I think frankly, society puts way too much emphasis on money, and I think it's incredibly toxic.
If you would like to learn more about the New Next podcast, find us at thenewnextpodcast.com, where you can suggest a topic you would like for us to cover. If you enjoyed what you heard, share the podcast, tell a friend about it, or rate us with 5 stars.